Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Good morning.
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky.
You are too.
I was reading a newsletter this morning from the Florida Bike Guys, and the title says, "When the odds seem stacked against you, keep grinding."
Yes.
Keep grinding.
That was a good story.
It's almost like that Finding Nemo movie where he's
Keep
like,
swimming.
just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
And I often find myself, like my little voice in my head often says, just keep pushing, keep pushing. So my word is pushing, but it's the same concept. Just keep doing what you're doing. We may not see results immediately, but keep doing what you're doing. And you may even find a gear that you didn't even know you had.
Yeah, and you may reach the finish line when you didn't even know the finish line was that close.
And that's what this article is about. It's about the Tour de France, the Femme version.
The La Femme.
I didn't even know there was a female version. I'm learning all sorts of new things.
I didn't really either. I don't know if they televise it.
And it's about, I believe she won this year, Katarzyna Niewiadoma.
Oh, I had a Niewiadoma once, but they cut it out.
It does sound like some sort of cancerous.
It's not to make fun of anyone's last name, but we're probably not pronouncing it correctly.
Yes. Anyway, she talks though about she was in the lead the last couple days of the race. However, those last hills, she felt like her body just hit a plateau and her mind was saying, go, 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 go. And her body just was not responding, which can be very, very frustrating if you've ever had that.
Yeah. And
she literally was passed by two other riders. They left her behind.
That's a competition that I'm going to wait for.
And she just thought, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But she just kept grinding
it out. And then she ends up finding out, I think she won like 4 seconds by 4 seconds.
When she finished the finish line, she realized she actually won. And it was because she never gave up.
Yeah.
And I just feel in life, so many times we are being tested, and if we just keep going.
Yeah, and it's hard to beat someone who doesn't give up. Just like who says, I'm not going to quit. I know what my goal is. I know who I want to be. I'm never going to quit striving for that. It reminds the athletic version of this reminder for me is the year we did a mini triathlon every month.
Oh my gosh. What were we thinking?
It was
and how do we get that motivated again? That's my question.
Well, it's like checked off the list, been there, done that, I'm good. We decided we wanted to live that healthy lifestyle and create what that was. Now the new understanding is to find the balance in that, right?
Okay, go back to how you were feeling. So the
first couple of times, actually it might have been every time, but I remember it distinctly in the first race and the second race. During the swim, I literally thought I was going to drown. Like,
really?
And I'm a great swimmer.
You're a fabulous swimmer. You swim in the lake. You swim in the pool. You
swim in the ocean,
being a little fish.
I know, but when we were racing, like we're racing with all these people, and the one in Miami, I almost knew I was going to drown. I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And I kept telling myself, just keep your head, like take your breaths, keep your head above water. And the swim is the first portion. And so then I start compounding this anxiety and this fear and doubt. And I was like, I'm
trying not to laugh, but I was there with you. So I totally know how this all went down.
Well, I'm going through this and I'm like, I'm the able-bodied guy. I'm the strong guy. I'm swimming with my wife. And I'm the one that's going to drown here. And then I actually, at the end, I remember I stood up. So I saw the shore and I stood up and I was like, it's only like 4 feet of water here.
You could walk.
Yeah, and all these stories I was telling myself, and then also seeing the finish line in place.
Yeah.
Or where the finish line was, like I was like, I can make it 100 more yards.
Yeah.
And 100 yards is a long distance to swim. Not after what we had swim, but I got a new energy and a new, like this fire in me that pushed me, helped me grind it out.
It was your second wind.
Yes. And I used
it. Was a new gear.
And it was a new story I was telling myself.
It was a new gear. And
Yes.
sometimes we just need to push through that threshold, right?
Yeah. And my time wasn't great for any of those, but I did finish them and I got better and I got healthier through it all. So it was one of those things where, and that was my goal, was to just finish these things.
Yeah.
To get the medal around my neck and say, I competed, I was there, and I made it through.
It's kind of like that Whitney Houston song where you're like, give me one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. And that's it, right?
Yes. Yeah,
and that's what this bicyclist is talking about.
You also get that emotional fulfillment of doing the thing you almost thought you couldn't do, and that you were telling yourself you couldn't do. You make the turn. It was incredible for me, and it felt like those moments in time, spending them with you, moving towards that.
So aside from the athletic example, I feel like we can also apply this to everyday life.
Oh yeah.
Because there's times I know just in my everyday existence where I feel like I'm not making any progress. Maybe I should pivot. Maybe I should reevaluate what I'm doing, what my goals are. And it's usually those moments when you are, what do they call it? 2 feet from gold?
Yeah. 3 feet from gold, 2 feet from gold. You're so close. But when it's that boiling water thing, water boils at 112 degrees or 212 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
At 211, it's at its most uncomfortable, at its most, all the things are combined there that it's saying, I just have to make this next degree to boil. And that's how we are when we're 3 feet from gold or 2 feet from gold. Is a lot of times it's so uncomfortable, there's friction's high, and we're exhausted.
So remind me, because I'm paraphrasing my head, but the whole 2 feet from gold is this guy was digging for gold in a mine or a cave like.
Yes, and he stopped 3 feet from being just crazy rich in this huge vein of gold. He digs
and digs and digs and digs and doesn't get anywhere. And he finally says, okay, this is insanity. If I keep doing this, I'm going to lose my mind. There is no proof in the world that there is gold here. I'm going to stop. And he sells the mine for pennies.
Yeah.
And then the next people that come in literally start digging. And within 2 days, they find gold.
Yeah.
So he was literally 3 feet from gold.
Success. 3 feet from success.
And that happens so many times.
And he changed his goal.
That happens so many times. And so like this cyclist was saying, her body wasn't necessarily responding. She was exhausted. She was worn out, but she just kept going through the motions. And she had a nice little surprise at the end.
Yeah, she had success. She had wanted to win the Tour de France women's division.
Femme.
La femme. That's fun to say.
And she did it. So the advice for today is when the odds seem stacked against you, where in your life right now do the odds just seem stacked against you? The answer is
grind it out.
Keep grinding.
Till you're living life.
Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.